Hello, I'm Diane Trees. Protecting personal information is a tricky business these days. Online banking, online shopping, social media sites all contribute to making us vulnerable as individuals to cybercrime. James McQuiggan, a certified information systems security professional, joins us to discuss cyber safety. James, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Why does Florida consistently rank up in the top section of the states in terms of identity, fraud, theft? Why are we such targets?
Seeing that Florida is, number 3 in the nation when it comes to targeted for identity theft.
Oh, is it? Number 3?
Yeah, number
okay.
3. Connecticut's number 1 and Missouri was number 2. I think a lot of it has to do with our demographics with regards to the age of the people that live here in Florida. We have a lot of people that like to retire to Florida, and we'll call them the life experience, whether we call them senior adults or we won't say elderly, but the life experience. They are the digital immigrants to social media, to computers. They were brought into it kicking and screaming, essentially. The idea of everything on the internet is true, I think, falls to them a lot. And so when they get this interesting emails or they get...
They're more vulnerable.
They're more vulnerable as they're, they get the email from the Prince of Nigeria and end up clicking on it or whatever, but and they fall susceptible to that.
Well, let's talk about then what constitutes a cyber crime in the context of an individual. You mentioned a few things, the different kinds of phishing, I think it's called.
Yeah, phishing with a PH. For me, when I explain phishing, it usually, you get up in the morning, you go out to the lake and you have your worms and you cast out your worm hoping to catch a fish, and you could go all day and not catch anything. But your last cast, you get this big, huge fish. That makes you want to go back the next day. Phishing in the sense of the cybercrime aspect is where there'll be the bad actors out there sending out hundreds of thousands of fake emails with a link in that email with the anticipation of somebody actually clicking on it. Usually that email is going to be something that would inflict a knee-jerk response or something that's going to impact you. A lot of the time they're really successful if it deals with money, if it deals with benefits. They'll target a company and say, your benefits are changing, click on the link. And essentially when you click that link, you're opening up the front door to your home. If you think your home's protected and you've got the security system and the cameras and everything else, but that doorbell rings and you open it up, you essentially let the bad guys in. They send that email to you and you see on there that makes you react and you click a link without thinking, and then it connects you to the bad guy servers. Now they can take control of your computer very quickly without you even knowing about it.
How vulnerable are we when we make purchases online? I mean, it seems to me most times I do that. It's so-called secure site.
Sure.
Is that a relative term anymore?
It is, for the most part, and it's going to depend on which sites you're visiting. If you're visiting the big, the Amazons, the eBays, those are reputable sites, and usually when you're connecting to them, they'll have that little lock icon because it's a secure connection that you're doing that. If you were ever browsing and you were going to buy something from a website and it didn't have that lock icon to show that you were secure, or the S after the HTTP, that would, your connection to that server, to that endpoint is not going to be very secure, and you would be susceptible. So when I talk to people, parents, when you're buying things online, buy it from reputable places that so that you are, you're keeping that secure connection and protecting your own self.
James, let's talk a little bit about social media. It's just exploded in use. How do we put ourselves at risk? And that, for the average person who uses a social media site, and maybe talk a little bit about what constitutes a social media site, Facebook, those kinds of things.
Okay. Yeah, social media has exploded, especially over the last 10 years. And within social media, there are risks, like anything else that you do. And for me, social media is a tool. And like any good tool, or any type of tool, you use it the right way and it serves a good purpose. You use it the wrong way and you can have a lot of problems. So for social media, it's great, like you said, for Facebook. I've been able to connect with family and friends all over the world. And it's great for keeping in touch and keeping up to date with them. Things like Snapchat, Instagram, where you're taking pictures. That's great for sharing those wonderful memories and locations. The risk that you get at is on the smartphones, they have GPS built into them. Because on the smartphones, you use it to figure out how to get from point A to point B. Well, what it does also is when you take a picture of yourself or wherever you are, the GPS coordinates are actually stored into the data of the file. So when you upload that image to another site or up to a social media site, that information can be stored along with it. And so a lot of people don't realize that it's stored, or they think that, hey, that's a great feature. But if somebody gets their hands on those images, or you allow people to look at your profile that you don't know in real life, they can now very easily figure out where you live, where you go to school, where you go to work. And so that's why it's important on social media that whoever you're connecting with, that you know them and you trust them, specifically with Facebook and Instagram. Either that or you have to turn off that geotagging capability.
I had no idea. I would not have thought of that. You know, I think that younger people are perceived as the most voracious users of social media.
Yep.
But with my generation, the smartphone, I think we've become a little more tech savvy. I know you do volunteer work with the Center for Cyber Security or Safety and Education.
Yep.
Are you seeing more seniors, adults, coming in to take these classes?
Yeah, with regards to the seniors, you know, they're that digital immigrants. So they've been brought in kicking and screaming, and they've had to learn how to use it, or it's their grandkids that's taught them how to use it, or their children.
Exactly.
And they're learning. You know, the young kids have grown up with it, with either a tablet in their hand, or my own two daughters were using a computer at 8 months, moving the mouse around and playing games. And so they've adapted as they've gone along. And I know myself, I consider myself that digital translator, being able to talk between the natives and the immigrants. But with I'm seeing a lot more of senior groups that want to have presentations, learn more about online safety because of the dangers that are out there. And a lot of it comes down to awareness. You know,
Yes.
if you may not be aware that your pictures are being
Right.
geotagged, or that, you know, when you get an email from the Prince of Nigeria, he's not looking for you to help him out with
Right.
his money. But
That-
if you're aware, then that helps protect you as well.
Do you think then that the younger generation, being more savvy with tech, are more aware perhaps and cautious than an older person like myself who wouldn't have a
Right.
clue that the GPS, of course I know there's a GPS component,
Yeah.
would not have connected the two? That's,
Interestingly enough, no. I see a lot of the millennials, a lot of the teenagers, just they're not aware of those dangers either. They get their smartphone and they load up Snapchat and they're doing the funny faces and the filters, and it's just, for them it's
Yeah.
either a tool or a toy or something that they have a lot of fun with. Use it to communicate, but they're not aware of what the dangers are. In classes that I've taught, and I've told the students about the geotagging. And I said, you know, if you're sharing your profile with people you don't know, they know where you live. And always there's at least one child whose eyes go bug-eyed because they realize that, you know, oh my
Right.
gosh, that
Right.
person can now figure out where I live, and
Yeah.
is that wake-up call. And so
Right.
it goes back to the awareness. You know, if you know that there are burglaries going on in your neighborhood, you'll take the right actions to protect your home,
Right.
whether, you know, bars, security system cameras, and so forth. So if you know that there are dangers out there of social media, then you'll take the right steps to protect yourself online.
where are we headed here? You know, we seem to make some safety measure, then that's compromised. You're an expert in this. You've had years of experience. You see this happen. So we do this cycle again and again. What's going to happen?
Nowadays, with social media, the smartphones, they are becoming so integrated with our lives, we carry them around everywhere. So it is that lifeline. A lot of people are relying on it, very much so. It's integrating in with our cars, it's integrating with medical devices, and those Internet of Things is the phrase that's out there for it. But unfortunately, we're seeing there's still not a lot of security concepts in those devices. And so we're all constantly working, you know, not only on the human factor, but working on the electronic factor as well to make sure that we're keeping those secure to protect the people.
Right. So it's ever evolving. If you had one priority piece of advice to give to an individual for cybersecurity,
Sure.
what would you tell them?
There'd be several things I'd have to tell them, but a lot, you know, some of it comes down to backing up your data, making sure that you have because everything on your computer or on your phone, if you lose that or it breaks or it gets damaged, you lose that altogether. So you want to make sure you're having backups. You want to make sure that you use a password database, because a lot of the times people will use the same password for everything. And if, with all the breaches that are going on, a lot of the information's getting stolen. So it's good to have different passwords and use a password database to store all that. But finally, I guess if there was one thing I could have to say, would be Google yourself. as a verb. Google yourself, because what's out on the internet, you may not really be aware that there's
Right.
pictures of you or video or material out there that you don't want to share. And so people are very concerned about privacy in today's day and age. And Googling yourself allows you to go through and see, what information's out there,
Good
whether you want it or not.
advice. Thank you, James, so
Thank
very
you.
much.